Well, here's a video I did not think I was ever going to make. Look what I have here. So, I didn't film the unboxing of this. This was a gift from a friend of mine. Thank you, Michael. I didn't film this because, I wasn't sure what I was opening, and I didn't know if it was game related or anything like that. And, well, it turns out I'm really glad I didn't, because I don't like to swear on these videos. And, well, let's just say I used a lot of expletives when that box opened up. I was rather surprised. So, anyhow, I know I've mentioned it on here before, but I've certainly mentioned it elsewhere, that my sort of holy grail of gaming has been the Ringworld box set from Chaosium. From, when was this made? 1984. So my dad had a copy of this, and I used to pore over it, and I loved it. And that, things happened, and I did not get a copy of it, and I have always wanted one. I really love a lot of Larry Niven's known space work. Niven is a bit of a spotty author sometimes. Some of his stuff I really don't care for, and I think as the Ringworld series went on, though the ideas were still fantastic, the books were less so. But the first book, I think, is fantastic. And I love his known space universe, the universe that he built. So this role-playing game, narrative descriptions by John Hewitt. Let's see, what do we got? Larry Niven's Ringworld, role-playing adventures adventure beneath the Great Arch. Game designed by Sherman Kahn. Additional design materials: Lynn Willis, Sandy Peterson, Charlie Crank, Ed Gore, Rudy Kraft. Artists: Ralph McQuarrie, Lisa A. Free, Michael Bloom, and Yurik Kodak. I'm not sure. Here's some of that, and we see, big old image here on the cover. You can see the arch of the ring, and here's the back. I don't know. That print is really small, so I don't know if it's going to show up on there. But if you wanted to pause and read, if it does show up on there. So this uses basic role-playing, and you can see the box is not in pristine shape, but you don't expect it to be. It's from 1980, whatever I said, 4 or something. I believe all of the contents are here. It does look like there's maybe some water damage or something to the books. I'm not sure. That's certainly, it feels like maybe there's some water damage. But they're not stained or anything, and they don't smell musty or anything like that. But the books are here: the Explorer's book, Game Master's book, the Creature book, and the Technology book, as well as reference sheets. I wonder if this has oh yeah, it does have character sheets. That was going to be my question. Does it have character sheets? What's in the reference sheets? Explorer's Guide, Explorer Ring. Yeah, I can't use words. Just some various information. Okay, I'll take a look. As well as there's some little cardboard characters here. I can make some photocopies of these and maybe use them. We've got some humans. We've got a puppeteer. We have a ring. I think, if I remember right, those are the ring residents down here on the one end. And I don't remember what they were called. And then we've got some Kazin up here, it looks like. That's my assumption. Okay. Cool. All right. I'm going to take a look through some of this. So again, this uses basic role-playing. I was going to mention that two of my favorite literary settings from, certainly that were being actively developed in the 80s, and especially like when I was really developing a love and hunger for science fiction and adventure and that sort of thing. Two of my favorite settings were Larry Niven's Known Space and Alan Dean Foster's Hugh Manx Commonwealth settings. I loved both of them very much, and this has been a prized possession of mine for a long time, GURPS Hugh Manx. Now, if I ever ran a Hugh Manx game, would I use GURPS? No, I would not. But it's a cool supplement to have. And so Known Space is another one of those that I just absolutely love. I love the strange high tech. I love the deep time that goes into it. So we have medical equipment. When you start to learn the sort of truths of the universe and find out how far back things go. I mean, the ring itself is such a... Check that out. The ring itself is such a sort of mysterious object that when you start to learn more about it and the time that it's been there and what has happened on it in that time. So we have creatures, we have aliens. I'm assuming that a lot of these are going to be the stuff from the stuff that lives on the ring. Cool. Oh yeah, the grass giants. The ghouls. Let's see here. Yeah, there we have city builders. That's what they're called. The city builders. I don't even know if I can't remember if the city builders are even the origins of the ring. I feel like they're not. I feel like they're maybe descendants of the builders of the ring, or maybe they're just somebody who usurped that throne at some point along the way. I really liked some of the ideas introduced in the book Protector, where you learn more about humanity and why humanity exists, and why certain things that happen to humans as they grow old, how they are remnants of a different intention. It's sort of fascinating. Again, the deep time that book created was very cool. Oh, excellent. So there's actually, it looks like this actually has some, we have lore, like city masters, the city builders lore. Just generally, it looks like lore on the setting. Ringworld mysteries, game master notes, hominid technology, how gravity works, psionics, right? Credit rate, okay, sure. And then it looks like maybe an adventure here. Journey to the Cat's Eye. So that's nice to have a sample adventure. Landing on Ringworld. I guess in case you want to do a hex crawl. Explorer's book. I think this must be the, yeah, this looks like character creation and stuff, so I think this is like the base rules. So, I've mentioned before in previous videos that if I had to absolutely pick only one game system or whatever, I've often pointed to Call of Cthulhu. If I had to pick one as my favorite, it would be Call of Cthulhu, And part of that is because if I had to pick one system, it would be basic role playing. And does basic role playing work for absolutely everything? No, it doesn't. No system does. There's not a system out there that is good for every different kind of game and every different kind of story that you want to tell. No system does that. But as far as like being malleable, I think for one of the widest arrays of different types of stories, I think that basic role playing works great. Is it good for heroic fantasy? No, it's not. Is it good for D&D style monster killing? No, it's not. Combat in basic role playing is too deadly for you to spend much time doing it. Your characters will not survive if all you do is kick down doors and fight what's next. But it's good for a lot of other stuff. And I think it works very well for a grounded science fiction. Now, known space is really big and grand and wild and strange, and it's on that kind of like foundation level of like really out there stuff, but it's grounded with a sense of reality. It doesn't have psi powers. Yeah, it has psi powers, so it's not, and it has faster than light, and it has technologies that we could look at as being fantastical like that. But people are still people, and a broken glass to the neck is still a death sentence. That kind of thing, unless you can get some of your high tech science onto you. So it's grounded in that sense. So I like it. I like basic role playing a lot, and it's a system that I have had a great deal of fun with and plan to have a great deal more with, especially now that the new edition is out, which I do not yet own. And I love the idea of getting a group together to go explore the ring and maybe other Niven ideas. It may prompt me to go back and read some of his other novels, because this is my kind of sci-fi. I love it. Is it still fantastical? Yes, it's still fantastical. Yes, there's faster than light. Yes, there's artificial gravity. There's all of those things that are essentially fantasy. But if you get past the magic tech, the Clark tech, I think that's what it is. It's the, Arthur C. Clarke's, any technology sufficiently advanced is indistinguishable from magic. It's that kind of stuff. There's a lot of Clark tech in Niven. There's a lot of stuff that, what is it, I can't remember if it's called the Null Ship, I think. It's the thing that is used in one of the other books from Known Space to fly to the center of the galaxy, and it can go at crazy speeds. It can run through anything because it's impossible to do damage to it, essentially, so it can plow through whatever. And if I remember right, somebody flies to the center of the galaxy, finds out that the galaxy is exploding from inside or something to that effect, and that it eventually will consume itself. And that's the whole reason why things kick off in the novel Ringworld, which is it. Because the puppeteers are doing some crazy business. And, I like some of the aliens like the puppeteers. I mean, the idea of a species that is deeply, what we would consider as humans, what we would see as deeply fearful and deeply cowardly, because they have evolved from essentially Velt prey. It's, imagine something like gosh, what do they call them? The antelope, I think it is. The thing that you're always seeing on the Nature Channel's tigers, or not tigers, getting my continents mixed up. That lions are always, you always have the lioness pouncing on the antelope or whatever. It's been a while since I've watched nature documentaries. Anyway, imagine that Velt prey evolved sentience, evolved spacefaring, got out into the universe that this is a creature whose entire existence has been predicated on being scared, running, hiding, avoiding getting eaten. And that is its core motivation in life and furtherance, is safety, avoidance of danger, running from problems, finding a hidey hole, etc., etc., etc. And they've built a society and a civilization and an interstellar civilization on that concept. And some of the things that go on a grand scale because of their core idea of getting away from danger. To me, I find that really just kind of neat. I find that's one of the things I like about science fiction, taking a concept, taking a vague idea, focusing in on it, and then taking it to an extreme end. And that's kind of what's gone on with certainly with the puppeteers in known space, as well as other science fiction that's out there. There's also, of course, the Kazin, which some of you may be familiar with because the Kazin transferred outside of known space and actually ended up in Star Trek. You'll see the Kazin in the animated series. And then I want to say they may have transferred around. I know that they are a big... I'm pretty sure they're a big villain or a big antagonist or whatever in Starfleet Battles, the old spin-off of Star Trek with its names and serial numbers filed off. There was a tabletop game. The Kazin are in that. But that's because, anyway. But anyway, Kazin have gone outside of Niven's known space to appear in other people's work. Anyway, the Kazin are in here. There was that series of anthologies back in the 80s. There are a bunch of them of the Man-Kazin Wars, which I think all take place before this. Because I think by this point, humanity and the Kazinti are allies, kind of like the way humanity or the Federation and Klingons went from being enemies to being allies. Well, I think in the original sort of now of Niven's known space, the Kazinti were allies of humanity, but they had a long history of violent war. And so the anthologies were stories all set during the human and Kazinti battles. I only read maybe one, maybe two books. They were by a whole bunch of different authors, and they were, as you typically get with anthologies, they were a mixed bag. And I feel like either they missed more than they hit for me, or they simply didn't hit hard enough. So I fell off fairly quickly. I think I maybe read the first two. But they're out there. There were a whole lot more than two. Anyway, Ringworld. I've been trying to get my hands on this for 30 years, I think, close to. Certainly 25, but probably 30 years I've been trying to get my hands on this. This has been very much a holy grail of gaming for me. A long, long time trying to get this one. And thank you very much, Michael, for scoring me this. I really appreciate that. And hopefully I can return the favor in some small degree by maybe actually getting off my butt, putting together a game and running it for you at some point. I'm not going to promise that right off, but we'll see. So anyhow, that's it for this video today. Thank you very much. This will probably be going up in like a week or two after I record it. So happy belated holidays to any of you out there who celebrate any of them at all. And if you don't celebrate or you have a hard time around the holidays, good. Take care of yourself, and hope to see you next year, even if you're not enjoying yourself right now. So take care, and we'll see you in the next video, whatever that might be. I have a strong suspicion that something I'm going to be opening tomorrow that is under the tree right now might be getting a video on here soon. I have that suspicion. So, all right, take care.